It is still May, so I got one more microscope related video for you guys. I've got a bunch of different microscope lighting systems here that are designed to reduce glare in one way or another, and we're going to try to test each of them in sort of a consistent manner and compare how each of them look. I'll be using the 6560T for this demonstration because it's sort of the most standardized scope in terms of, attachments for the lenses and things like that. All right, so first up is our control group. This is going to be the ring light that comes with the 6560T microscope. This is probably very similar to what you guys are going to see if you have just direct lighting that comes with the scope. The microscope cameras can only really do so much, and you're going to get glare like this if you just have direct lighting with no diffusion and with no angled lighting and things like that. So I want to give the cheapest solution a try first. This is a $20 light that comes with a little bracket here that is designed to mount on the actual stand itself. This adapter just outputs 5 volts at 1 amp, so I don't know how bright this is actually going to get, but let's see. So here we go, and we've got a little dial on the back here, and that's actually pretty bright. A lot brighter than I was expecting. Yeah, that fits perfectly in there. So this is actually the sunshine scope stand, but these are pretty standardized, especially the width here and the holes on the sides. The little adjustment knob on the back here is a little hard to reach with the way this is mounted. The other thing is, like, if you have a USB-C ring light on here already and you want to use it in combination with this is going to kind of run into the light. Anyways, let's get back to where we were here, and I'm going to turn on this light now. So we're going to start turning up the brightness, and you can see this does impact the lighting, and this is full brightness. Now, out of curiosity, let's see what it looks like with just the backlight. That looks pretty good. You can see now we're seeing the shadows on the bottom, but using the backlighting instead of the direct lighting is going to basically fully eliminate the glare on the PCB. So I think the best way to use this is to actually just use it alone without the top-down lighting, and you're going to get this nice anti-glare effect. So I'm pretty impressed with this. The next one we'll try is the tool one that mounts in the same place. This one is actually more of like a ring light. So here's what we got. We got the light itself, which is actually hardwired, interestingly, to a USB cable. And I like how long this is because it's going to get down and out of the way, and it's going to resolve some of the problems we had with the last one. I like how they've included the brightness control on the ring light itself. This does fit very nicely on the side of the scope here, and we can get this so that it is all the way out of the way of the existing ring light. Even this bracket here is out of the way of this USB-C cable. Wow, this gets bright. This gets way brighter than the other one. So here we have the same area, and let's turn on the ring light from the back here, and that's full brightness. So you can see with the existing microscope light, it's actually able to do a lot more than the last light was able to. I really am impressed with this one. This one looks really, really solid. Let me turn off the top down. And again, this is going to look more similar to the last one we tried. And this one's only about 20 bucks. So this looks really solid for a $20 anti-glare light. I also realized decreasing the top down lighting, so it's like only slightly on, really is a nice in between. So we get kind of a mix, and it looks really, really nice. I'm definitely a big fan of this one so far compared to the last one. This looks really clean to me. All right, next we're going to give the Omni-L a try. So this has a little focusable lens at the top. It also has a magnetic base. The magnetic base is not actually really that strong, so it can't actually stick to anything enough to make it usable, if that makes sense. What it does come with is this little ring that fits on your 32mm microscope stand. There's a little threaded hole down here, and you can actually thread this on to your microscope stand, and it is long enough and stiff enough that it really does work well. I really like how they put 2 of these on here, because you can just buy 2 of these guys for, like 80 bucks. And this comes with this little brightness adapter that's on the wire itself, and it plugs into a USB on the other end. So you just press this in to turn the light on, and then we can increase the brightness, and this gets pretty bright. This is the max brightness here, and we can also focus the light into a smaller area. So we've got the same area here. I'm going to go ahead and get the light turned on, and then we're going to focus in using the little knob here to see if it makes a difference. And it does appear to be actually making quite a big difference. Look at that. That's cool. That's like really vibrant lighting. The nice thing about this too is we actually have quite a bit of flexibility with where the light is coming from, whether it's from the right, from the top, from the left. So I really like how this looks. This looks really good. And I'm sure if we were to get 2 of these, this would look really, really nice. The light is quite big, I have to say. Like it is quite large. The nice thing is I have this set up in a way where I can just kind of like swing it out of the way here if I don't need it. But it is still kind of like a large light, if that makes sense. And I think I would prefer to maybe find a way to mount this to the scope itself versus having it separate from the scope, which the Gorilla microscope actually might be nice for with the mounting bracket on the back. This one ends up being about 40 bucks with free shipping, or you can find it for like $20 with $20 shipping, so it's all kind of the same. All right, next we have Paul Daniels ring light here. This is the angled lighting setup he's come up with. I'm really excited to see how this looks. This guy is 79 US dollars, and it is completely handmade and designed by Paul Daniels himself. If you do pick this up, you're going to need your own power brick. So you're going to need a 24 volt, 1 amp power brick like this one here. He provides some examples of ones you can pick up from DigiKey or Mouser. So obviously this is designed to be a replacement for your existing ring light. This is simply one light that is supposed to remove glare and provide enough lighting for your PCB. So I'm going to pull this piece of junk off of the mechanic and we're going to throw this on. So it comes with these nylon screws and this 3D printed adapter, which gets this whole thing angled, a nice large heat sink on the back of the PCB here. I have a feeling just looking at these that this is going to be extremely bright. Really excited to give this a shot. Yeah, this fits perfectly on the Barlow, and I'm going to tighten these nylon screws down and then we can plug this thing in here. Obviously I would route this in a nicer way. Ooh, you guys can't see that on camera, but that lighting color is nice. It's kind of like a slightly warmer color temperature than a lot of the ring lights that just have this like extremely white lab lighting that these things blast you with. Especially in the optics, these can really hurt your eyes over time at max brightness. I think the slightly warmer color that he's gone with here really is going to help for eye fatigue in the optics. So if I press the thing in, it turns it off and on. Oh, and it goes even brighter. Oh, okay, he has like a little, it flashes when it lets you know that it's at max brightness. That's cool. And then it goes down and there's the minimum brightness. Paul, this is really cool. This gets really bright. My goodness. I'm going to put this at sort of the medium brightness to try first. Oh, that just looks so clean. There's like basically no glare on this here already out of the gate. And we only have to have one light on the scope. Let's turn it up all the way. So there it is, indicating that it's at max brightness. Yeah, that looks really clean. That looks really, really nice. And you can see there's minimal shadows compared to the other sort of angled lighting solutions we've tried. Oh, and that looks so nice in the optics. That looks completely different in the optics than it does on the digital camera there. I really don't know how to explain this, but the lighting looks way warmer and more like comfortable on your eyes in the optical part of the scope. Even with the cheaper Greeno system here from the mechanic, this is a very big improvement over the stock lighting. So there's a lower brightness setting, which really does look nice on the digital scope too. I think somewhere in between for me on the digital and in the optics. That looks super good as well. Oh yeah, that thing definitely gets warm. It's a good thing there's a heatsink on this. But really impressive ring light here, Paul. This is really cool. I think so far this is my favorite just in terms of how the optics and the digital piece work and how low profile this is compared to the other options. It's also not adding any kind of filter or glass in between the optics and the board. By the way, huge thank you to Paul for sending this over to me. I bought all these other ring lights, but Paul was nice enough to send this guy over to me to try it out because he saw that I finally tried an optical scope without any strings attached. By the way, he did not expect me to make a video of this or anything. He just wanted me to give it a shot. This is a really cool light that you come up with, man. This is very impressive. All right, next we have the mechanic Windflow. This is the one with the embedded fume extractor. I can't necessarily recommend relying on a fume extractor like this because it's not going to filter the fumes. It's just gonna kind of redirect them. You really should be getting something that either goes directly out the window or is filtered or both. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's see how this works. Wow, this comes with all kinds of stuff here. Here's the light itself. It's plastic. And it does have a crappy little filter on the top here. So we have the fan button and the light button. And here's our ring light. I think this is going to be a little bit bulky and in the way, to be honest. Yeah, this is going to be really in the way here. You can't really even have a wire routed through here. It's unclear to me if this is designed to sort of replace the existing ring light that you use and only have angled lighting. This is 23 bucks and you have the US option. I don't know if I managed to just buy the wrong version of this, but anyways, okay, so the light's on. It's really not a strong ring light on this thing. We have 3 brightness levels. That's brightness level 1, 2, and 3. And you really probably can't see much of a difference there on the digital scope. If I turn off the top-down lighting, this is the max brightness. I think it's just simply not enough lighting for a microscope. at least with the Barlow lens I have on this scope, which you'll probably have one for working distance anyways. It's just simply not close enough to the board to provide enough lighting. So yeah, this is kind of the loser out of the bunch so far. Let's see how this little fan works. Oh my God, that sounds, I don't know if you guys can hear that. That is a horrible sound. Okay, that is medium speed and high speed. There is no way in the world I'm ever using this thing. Whoa, okay, we have extra speed too. If you want a vacuum cleaner in your workshop. Completely obnoxious sounding. Actually, the worst fume extractor I've ever heard in terms of noise. So yeah, I think this is just sort of a gimmicky thing. Unfortunately, the ring light is just too weak to make a difference, and the fume extractor just sounds god-awful. I can't really recommend this guy. And finally, we can take a look at how this actually functions with this microscope head. So I'm including this because this gives really nice diffused and angled lighting, but it does only work on specific scopes. So it will work on the 6560T along with these other scopes on screen here. These are at least the ones I know of that are going to work with this light. The benefit of this light is that you can actually add a UV light on here or a thermal camera. Jianli makes this thermal camera that you can attach underneath the scopes. You can actually have a thermal camera attached to your microscope. If you guys want a full review of this, you can check out my Gorilla microscope review where I take an in-depth look at the thermal camera, which is really, really nice, by the way. It looks sick. So this actually comes with the UV light attachment. You can see here, this is the UV light attachment that it comes with. So this is a focusable UV light, which is super cool. This whole setup is about $80, so $77 here with free shipping. All right, and here we have the actual thing itself. And we've got space for those Greeno style lenses to go down in there. The buttons feel exactly the same as on the Gorilla scope, and we have the exact same features, the IR cam out. Only difference here in this case is that you cannot use this as an alternative toggleable output as far as I can tell. Unless you can find another way to power this thing, maybe you can try to route power through here. We're gonna need to unscrew this entire thing here. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. So there are our lenses there, and I'm a little confused how this is gonna go on because I don't know. Oh yeah, okay, so this screws independently from this. So we can actually get this to screw in. And I think I just put this on backwards. This actually should go the other way around. This is really sick that you can put this on the 6560T. This is a significantly cheaper scope than the Gorilla, and you get all of the same benefits of this outside of, again, the toggleable USB-C output. But you still get the UV light and thermal camera attachments that you can put on here. This looks super sick too. Like, this is a really nice microscope setup. If you guys went with the 6560T, I fully recommend this light setup here. And I'm telling you guys, the thermal camera attachment is really phenomenal for this thing. I've already used it quite a bit for some other repairs with the Gorilla scope, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. So this thing requires 5 volts at 3 amps in order to use all of the features at once. You're going to need the full 3 amps from your USB-C, so you can't just plug this into your computer. You're going to want to plug this into an actual like PD charger, or at least a USB charger that's going to be able to provide 3 amps. So once we have it plugged in here, we can press the power button, and it's going to flash at us once to indicate that it's on. Then we can press this to turn the light on, or we can hold it to increase the brightness. This does get pretty bright as well. This gets very, very nice and bright, and it has this nice diffused and angled lighting. And we can also double tap this, and we'll actually get a laser. And this allows us to instantly line up an area of the PCB under the scope, so you don't have to like guess where it is. And then on this side here, we have this IR UV button, which is going to turn on our UV light. And again, this is focusable. So if we focus this in, we're going to be able to get nice focused UV light for curing purposes, or just for being able to see through substrate while doing multi-layer trace repair or things like that. So really cool add-on. You can also, again, attach a thermal camera here, and this button will turn that on and off as well. The Gorilla can actually power this through a USB port on the scope itself, whereas this scope doesn't have that. So I don't think we can actually use this alternative Type-C output. I tried powering this thing from the IR input there, and that did not work. So you can see this looks really, really nice. We have a little bit of glare on the right-hand side there, but outside of that, the lighting on this looks really phenomenal. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that it's angled and diffused lighting, and it really makes for a beautiful picture. I forgot to mention, since this does replace the normal lens setup, you can't actually use normal Barlow lenses with the scope anymore. So you need to get these, which are designed for the lens. This is a 0.5x Barlow and a 0.7x. I prefer the 0.7x. It's a good in between for how high up the scope will go. All right, we have the polarized ring light next. So this has a different polarization that's rotatable over the lights versus the polarization that the microscope itself sees. This also has the same sort of brightness control as the Omni-L does. I've actually already had this one for a little while, so I know what this looks like, but I'll just show you guys for a comparison anyways. So this is as in focus as I can get this thing, which is one of the main downsides of the polarizer, is it actually decreases the quality of the camera slightly. But the cool thing about this is when you turn the polarizer, you get a really cool effect here, where you can actually see the components super differently. This particularly helps with reading the numbers that are on chips and things like that. This amazed me when I first used it, but the more I use it, the more I really don't like how it makes the image fuzzy. It doesn't actually do that as much in the optics. So your eyes kind of make up for that for some reason a bit more than the camera does. But because I'm doing content, I really can't warrant having the polarizer on there at least all the time. So that was all the ring lights. I'll put on screen here a side-by-side comparison of each of the lighting scenarios in that same area of the PCB, so you guys can see sort of how each of them look. And this was just sort of the best lighting situation I could get from each of the lights. The budget winner is going to have to be this tool one. This surprised me for how cheap it is. This is like 20 bucks and it's a really simple solution, and it's long enough here that it gets out of the way of your microscope setup, and it looks really good. It looks really phenomenal for 20 bucks. So if you guys are on a budget, I think this one is the winner. I would say these two are the winners in terms of overall lighting, not only because of how nice the lighting looks, but also obviously because of the additional stuff we can do with this thing. And then I really love the Paul Daniels light. It's really bright and it has this slight warm lighting to it that I'm really a big fan of for the optics. This thing really impressed me for sure. For those of you who made it to the end of the video here, I'm actually going to be giving away this ring light because I already have one of these on my Gorilla Scope. So I don't need this thing. So if you guys happen to have the 6560T or any of these scopes on screen that are compatible with this, you can go ahead and hit up the giveaway link in the description. This is a totally separate giveaway. So if you already submitted for the microscope giveaway, you can win this one as well, and you'll get the UV light and everything with it. I actually didn't open the screws and stuff. I just used the ones for my other ring light. As with the microscope giveaway, I will ship this anywhere in the world. So even if I somehow can't ship this to you, I will give you money to buy one if you win the giveaway, and then we'll just maybe pick another winner. This giveaway is also going to run for about a month, so I'm going to be pulling winners for this on July 2nd on stream. So the week after we pull the winners for the microscopes, we'll be pulling winners for this guy. Please, guys, be aware there are scammers going around who are trying to imitate me and say that you've won things. Please do not fall for that. Do not click any of the links they send you. I will not be emailing you because you won randomly before I pulled the winners. It makes no sense. So I'm going to be waiting until the live stream where you see me live pull the winners. There is no faking that unless they steal my account and AI generate me or something. So just wait until the streams and see if you won. Just ignore everything else. Unless you want to waste their time, feel free to scam bait them for me and waste as much of their time as possible. These losers deserve it. This marks the end of Microscope May, so we will be returning to regularly scheduled content starting next week. But I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I had a ton of fun making this, and I'm really excited to get the giveaway winners drawn and get you guys your prizes. So thank you guys for all the love and support on the series. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.